What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching today. My name is Michael Baxey. If this is your first time watching a video with us, smash that subscribe button. If you're into anything automobiles, especially tuner cars, this is a spot for you. So today we're going to be doing an unboxing of my Solo 2 lap timer and have a look at how I got my GoPro set up to pair with that. Stay tuned. Alright, got all the stuff in the trunk here. Let's take a look. Alright, boxes. Let's move this all out of the way. Alright, so here it is, my Solo 2 DL lap timer. This was highly recommended by a lot of my buddies that track their cars all the time. It's a great unit. Generally speaking, the way it operates is it has a GPS module on it. So it knows what track you are on. It plugs in to your OBD2 port. There is a version that hardwires into your car, but that's not the version I got. I don't like hardwiring anything. Don't like dealing with electric wires in general, but let's have a look. Let's get to the unboxing. Looking inside the box. Alright, looks like you got a software CD, little metal plate for magnetic surface mount, user guide information. Okay, and then here we are, we get to the meat of it. So you got your OBD port power plug there. This is a separate power plug in case you want to mess with it in your house. I guess you use that to load up any potential updates. Okay, so a little bit of a confession, because I just wanted to make sure I was ready for track day when the time came. So there's actually this metal plate here that I already bolted onto the back because I didn't want to be caught. You know, I don't have this exorbitant amount of time on my hands, so unfortunately I really hate that train. Anyways, I don't have a whole lot of time on my hands most days, and I don't want to get stuck in a situation where I don't have critical items like this ready for track day. So went ahead and bolted on the back plate. It's just a plate, you know, it screws on by finger tightness. You can use a little flat head screwdriver to tighten it down. So that's what I did. Otherwise, the back is basically a nice hard plastic. Your OBD port plug here plugs into right here. That goes into your car, so let's go ahead and do that and see what pops up. Okay, so going into the cabin here, I just want to point something out. I'm not going to do a review on it right now, but I need to point this out because this is important. It seems like more and more accessories today are using the OBD2 port plug. And so I've got this dash cam that I just got, which also uses the OBD2 port. And then of course I've got my Hondata and or K-Tuner V2, which all also plugs into the OBD2 port. And if you guys haven't plugged anything into your OBD before, you know that there's only one plug. So what's the solution? You know, so I looked it up and I didn't even realize stuff like this existed, but I guess you can get an OBD2 splitter, which is exactly what I got. A little bit of a mess right now, but that's my dash cam there. That's the Honda Flash Pro, and then I got a 3 OBD2 splitter, so that's an empty slot. But here's what I learned, because on top of everything else that I have that runs off of OBD2, I've also got my Remus Bluetooth baffle controller that also plugs in OBD2. I don't have that plugged in right now because even though I have 3 slots, I've discovered that the draw on power is too much when you have more than 2 accessories trying to draw power out of your factory OBD2 port. So I've only got 2 things plugged in right now. Doing a third causes stuff to stop working properly. So I'll probably end up getting a 2-plug splitter at some point, just to save the clutter, because it doesn't look good. But if I can't use more than 2, then there's no point having a 3 splitter. So anyways, just wanted to point that out in case you're kind of in a situation like me where you have a couple of things going through OBD2 port. So for this demonstration, I would say that, if you're on the track, you're probably not going to need your dash cam because you're going to be using a better camera setup, like a GoPro or something like that. So I'm going to unplug my dash cam, which is that guy right there. I'm going to plug in the Solo 2 DL, and let's see what that looks like. Alright, real quick, I just want to point something out, and I always pay attention to stuff like this because I love when companies put this much attention into detail. But this Solo lap timer is really built for all types of vehicles, not just cars. So if you have this on your motorcycle, all the buttons have rubber seals on them. So you got 2 ports down here. One is for the OBD2, the other is for the camera that you can buy that goes specifically with this unit. That's a pretty expensive setup, so I didn't go that direction. I just went with a GoPro that doesn't plug in, that just operates separately. But if you have a look at this, so this is a plug that unscrews out of that port, and there's a little rubber O-ring on the end of it, which helps keep moisture out. So they think of everything. I like that. I like that little attention to detail. Okay, so I've got the unit plugged in. Alright, so there it is. It was just searching for a track. We're not next to one, so didn't pick anything up. But it's got the timer up. So if we were at a track, it would pull up the track and it would use predictive technology to know when you're starting your lap, and you can hit a button to start recording. So it's really super easy to use. I've got it set up. I've got this 10th generation Honda Civic phone mount from eBay. I'll put a link to that below if you guys want to have a look at that, but I don't actually even use that for my phone. I bought that specifically for the Solo 2 because then I just take this and pop that right there. If you remember that metal plate on the back, I don't even need to use one of these little circle metal plates that came with that phone mount. To mount it, I can just put my Solo 2 right there and then just feed the wires down through wherever I need to feed it, tuck it away, clean it up, make it look good. Okay, so that's my lap timer setup. Let's have a look at my camera setup. So if you guys don't recall from my last track video, we were at Thunder Hill. I had a GoPro helmet mount right to the side of my helmet. Unfortunately, it wasn't really that great an angle, and with your head moving around when you're in the car doing your lap, it just wasn't good. It wasn't good. So I set out, I needed to find a better solution. Talked to some of my buddies that do this a lot. They said get a mount that you could actually attach to the inside interior light of the car. So that's what I did. Check it out. Light's a little dark in here. Wait for the camera to pick this up. There it is. Okay, so I got my Hero 5 Black, and that's attached to an extension arm, which is then double-sided sticky taped to the interior light, the interior dome light at the top. So that's my setup. I can record with this during my lap, during my track session. It's really easy to get to turn on and turn off. To get the best results mounting the GoPro to the interior dome light, it's got a little curve to it, so getting the helmet cam mount wasn't a bad idea still, because those mounts have a little curve to it to conform to the side of the helmet. So you can use one of those mounts to mount to the interior dome light, and it's going to have a better surface to really grab onto that light. So that's what my setup looks like, guys. We'll get a better look at it when I actually take the car back out to the track, which is coming soon. So stay tuned for that. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me again. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And, you know, as always, stay hungry, stay fast, stay tuned. I'm Michael Baxi, and I'm out.